EU foreign ministers in Ukraine's Kiev for unprecedented meeting abroad. Top diplomats of the bloc gather in Kiev in the first-ever meeting outside the EU borders in show of solidarity. The foreign ministers of all 27 European Union member states are meeting in war-torn Ukraine in their first-ever meeting outside the bloc's borders, displaying support for Kiev. White House holds news briefing as the EU foreign policy chief affirms support for Ukraine. The European Union's foreign policy chief on Monday led a delegation of top diplomats on an unannounced visit to Kiev and dismissed concerns about political tension in the bloc over its long-term support for Ukraine's fight against Russia. Watch the briefing in the player above. Though largely symbolic, the informal meeting between EU and Ukrainian diplomats demonstrated the EU's clear commitment to Ukraine in its 19-month-long war, Josep Borrell said. The EU remains united in its support to Ukraine. I don't see any member state folding on their engagement, Borrell told a news conference in the Ukrainian capital, outlet malls, where India's discount hunters meet top brands. New Delhi, real estate developers across India are embracing the concept of outlet malls, inspired by the success of similar models in the West, offering clothing and footwear at discounted rates as brands seek avenues to liquidate stocks. I is good for the United States, Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar on US-India ties. No celebration gains depth and width if it's not supported by wisdom, and that wisdom is within us, within all of us. Wisdom is to recognize we are all unique and we are all one, said S. Jaishankar. China risks undermining economy as Communist Party asserts control from new laws on espionage and public security to fewer foreign films and arguments on clothing. Is China turning away from the world? When 29-year-old accountant Kai Tong pulled out her iPhone 13 at a Starbucks on the outskirts of Shanghai, her colleague sitting opposite her moved closer. Huawei is a giant of China's telecommunication and consumer electronics industry and a major producer of smartphones. India tells Canada to withdraw dozens of diplomatic staff. India has told Canada to withdraw dozens of diplomats from the country, in an escalation of a crisis that erupted when Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said New Delhi may have been linked to the murder of a Canadian Sikh. Ottawa has been told by New Delhi that it must repatriate roughly 40 diplomats by October 10. According to people familiar with the demand. One person said India had threatened to revoke the diplomatic immunity of diplomats who remain after that date. Amazing fights in Abu Dhabi. Qatar is an excellent fighter, a legitimate top 5 featherweight, and Holloway beat him with scores of 50-43 twice and 50-42 once. He set multiple records during the 25-minute affair and spent portions of the final round doing his best Muhammad Ali impersonation, shouting at Qatar and the broadcast crew that he was the best boxer in the UFC before dodging an incoming shot and countering with a no-look right hand that landed flush.